The long and winding road that is the 2021 season now leads out west to the Valley of the Sun, into a stadium that is built for the bright lights of sport's biggest stages.
Oh, wow, look at that!
The series champion captured the spirit of St. Louis, continuing his dominance while destroying everything and everyone in sight.
Nice work, bro.
24 rounds of competition has brought wear and tear to man, woman, and machine, while 4 new warriors look for a star-making turn in the Arizona sun.
All right, buddy, go, go, go.
12 will enter the track, 1 will leave with the trophy. This is round 24, this is Glendale, this is Monster Jam. Nice air, and he saves it. There is your wow factor.
Big air out of the box! Awesome move, look at that!
Welcome to State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, as we return to one of the deepest tracks in Monster Jam for round 24 of the 2021 season. Hello everyone, I'm Scott Jordan with Monster Jam driver Colt Stevens, and we're back on the West Coast after 3 rounds in St. Louis, and Colt Ryan Anderson has not taken his foot off the gas since winning the series championship. He won 2 rounds at the Dome. Now at this point, can we say the only way he doesn't win is if there are mechanical issues with the truck, which has been rare, or he makes a huge mistake, which has been even more rare?
You know, that's one thing about it. Ryan Anderson has definitely been on top almost every event, but one thing about it is that's a lot of pressure, and if Ryan can handle it, he could come away with another win here.
8 of the competitors here tonight have competed in all 23 previous rounds this season, and then some when you factor in the arena events. Now, there's some new dogs in the yard here, Colt, so will it be a case of fresh legs or rust on the wagon when it comes to our new competitors?
You know, it's always nice coming in fresh. These drivers are new to this event. They haven't been out on this track, so that might be an advantage.
Let's take a look at the driver lineup for round 24. Are you going to stay with one of the Elite 8, or are you looking at a fresh face to come out and take the trophy?
I'm going to have to go with one of the Elite 8, Todd the Duke, hometown. He's got his family here watching. He's been right there close to the edge, but I think this might be his event here in Glendale.
Speaking of the hometown hero, let's head downstairs to our own Leslie Mears and check in with this UNOH pit report.
It's been a pretty long season, and not too many Monster Jam events have been out here on the West Coast. So, Todd, how good does it feel to be competing this weekend so close to home?
Unbelievable. As soon as I got this on my schedule, I told all my California friends, Nevada, Arizona, and some of my friends in Texas all come out here, and I just cannot wait. I've always had some pretty good luck here in Glendale. We were very fast yesterday in practice qualifying, and like I said, it's not going to look this nice for very long.
Thank you, Leslie. Let's take a look at the Monster Jam Steel Titans 2 video game event breakdown. Our drivers will compete in 3 competitions: Monster Energy Racing, the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and BKT Monster Jam Freestyle. 12 points will be awarded to the winner of each competition, with a total of 36 points on the line, and the driver with the most points at the end of the night will be crowned the overall event champion. It's time now for Track Talk, presented by Great Clips. As I mentioned, it's a big, deep track. It is beloved by Monster Jam drivers and fans alike. I've gone on record as saying this is my favorite track because of all the space. So talk us through the layout here in Glendale.
I love this track in Glendale. We got plenty of room to stretch our legs. One thing about Monster Jam trucks, they're always fun to drive when you got a lot of room to drive them in. So Glendale, this track is awesome. We've got some big jumps out there. One thing I noticed is the race lanes are also big, so the driver's gonna have to overcome that quick and make a good choice when it comes to lane choice so that you don't get too crazy over those race lanes like we saw Max D do in practice last night.
Here's tonight's Monster Energy Racing bracket. Round 1, Bakugan Dragonoid against Obsessed, Max D against Gravedigger, Zombie going at it with Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, and Jurassic Attack versus Wildcard, Monster Energy Vendetta, Megalodon, and Monster Mutt Dalmatian Galaxy getting the first round buys. Give me your favorite round 1 matchup. A lot to like in this bracket.
I really like this last race in round 1. We got the new guys going to head-to-head. Who's going to come out on top?
Let's head down to the track. It's time for Monster Energy Racing. It's Bakugan Dragonoid versus Obsessed. We have Ryan at that right lane ready to stage, but the left lane is open. What could be going on with Obsessed right now?
And you hate to see that coming in for intros. Obsessed has had to pull off the track. Seems like he might be having some electrical issues early. This might be an easy round for Ryan Anderson.
Ryan Anderson, Bakugan Dragonoid firing up. He has a buy run here. Eric Swanson, Obsessed, pulled off the track early. Now this buy run from a time standpoint does not matter. Todd the Duke has lane choice in round 2. So right now it's about Ryan Anderson feeling out the track.
There's a great corner right there by Ryan. He counter-steered the truck, and got it right in line with the race lane.
This time in the left lane, it's Tom Mentz and Max D. In the right lane, Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger. They've gone at it twice this year. Tom has both wins. What an upset it would be for Kristen to win this one in round one.
Definitely. Now, last night in practice, we actually saw Tom push it a little bit too far and rolled over in practice. So hopefully he's got that out of the way. We don't want to start freestyling racing.
Kristen got a great jump off the line, but Tom so low on the jump makes up for it on the race ramp.
Nice corner by Kristen, but Tom's got the advantage.
That corner's where Tom had trouble in practice. He nails it. Kristen
Too
goes
much race gear
sideways.
from Kristen.
And Tom goes nearly off the ramp.
Wow.
I think he got the two front tires down, but we'll take a look at the replay.
Watch him coming around the corner. One thing about it is Tom is not using very much rear steer at all. This track here is going to be a track that they're going to be able to drift the truck around the corner.
So Tom Mentz moving on to round two. Next up in round one, in the left lane, it's Bari Musauer and Zombie. In the right lane, Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Now, Bryce was talking to Bari yesterday about he did not like this matchup. Bari has had his number as of late.
One thing about Bari is he's been consistent. And that's weird to say because Bryce is consistent as well, but Bari just seems to have it a little bit more figured out.
Great Clips Mohawk Warrior high off the
Nice
ramp.
and
Zombie
tight
goes
by
low.
Bryce.
Tight turn, the difference. You called it.
Oh, picking that inside tire up. It's going to be Bryce.
Right to the finish. Bryce Kenny, a great run for him. Got up on that front left tire.
Bryce has kept it tight to the corners. Bari was a little bit too wide. He was going faster, but he was using way more real estate, and that's not going to win a race.
Here's a matchup you've been looking forward to. It is Paul Jensen in Jurassic Attack up against the wild card tonight. It is in fact BJ Johnson in wild card.
One thing about the wild card truck is it has a 6-inch larger wheelbase than the other trucks.
Paul Jensen, a great jump off the line. He hits the turn first, but he goes wide. He went really wide and sideways. BJ Johnson checked up on the race ramp. Paul Jensen has a clear shot. And Paul Jensen in Jurassic Attack making it happen.
Wow, good racing by both drivers.
Let's take a look at the bracket for round two. It's Monster Energy against Bakugan Dragonoid. Vendetta up against Max D. Megalodon going at it with Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. And Monster Mutt Dalmatian Galaxy head-to-head with Jurassic Attack. Round one of racing is history. Round two is a mystery. Who advances to the semifinals? Monster Energy Racing continues next on Monster Jam. Welcome back to the home of the Arizona Cardinals. Monster Energy Racing continues with round two, and it's going to be a heavyweight matchup. Todd LeDuc in Monster Energy from Peoria, Arizona, just about 15 minutes down the road. He goes up against Ryan Anderson in Bakugan Dragonoid, and as I mentioned, the luck that Ryan has had against Todd this year, 7-3 in 10 matchups. Not the matchup you want if you're Todd when your family's here and you want to impress your hometown fans.
You know, Todd has been struggling when it comes to the Andersons, but he needs to get that monkey off his back, and this might be the opportunity for him to do that. Todd has a racing background of drifting the truck, so this might be an advantage here. Watch him go into this corner, see if he slings it in.
They were even off the line to the chalk. Tight turns for both. Ryan Anderson has an edge.
Better let her eat, Todd.
Final turn, they both go tight. And Ryan Anderson getting it done. He went right off that ramp on the far lane. Let's take a look at the replay.
It looks like Ryan was kind of heading out towards the edge. Make sure that he got both front tires across that race lane.
So Bakugan Dragonoid is going to advance into the semifinal round. Next up, we get our first look here tonight and this year of Mike Christensen in Vendetta, and he goes up against the veteran 12-time World Finals champion Tom Mentz in Max D. What do you know about Mike Christensen?
You know, he's a second-generation driver like myself, and what's funny about it is he's racing Tom Mentz. Well, you know what truck his dad used to drive? Maximum Destruction. So this is an opportunity for Mike to go out there and put it to the man. Wow, Vendetta really got off the line.
Vendetta with a great start. They both go wide around the turn. Vendetta slowing down a little bit. He's got a race lane, though.
Oh,
we are even here, Colt.
No rear steer from Vendetta. Tom is riding that rear steer. Vendetta's got him. He got him.
Oh, we are going to take a look at the replay. What a great run for both competitors. Wow.
upset.
Vendetta moving on. So Mike Christensen getting it done in his 2021 Monster Jam debut. Let's move on to the other side of the bracket. Adam Anderson in Megalodon. He's in the right lane. Bryce Kenny, Grey Clips, Mohawk Warrior in the left lane.
Bryce staying nice and tight again.
And Adam swings it out wide, but he's got a great lane now. Here comes Adam Anderson picking up speed.
Crazy how Adam can look like he's going so slow, but really be going so fast.
And Bryce gets the back end of that truck, swinging around, and Megalodon moving on.
Yeah, you can see this top layer of dirt's getting pushed off the track. It's making it more and more slick. And these drivers are going to have to change their driving style to adjust.
Our final matchup in round 2, Lindsay Reed and Monster Mutt Dalmatian Galaxy. She goes up against Paul Jensen in Jurassic Attack, advancing from round 1. Jurassic Attack off to a great start.
Paul's absolutely using no rear steer going through the corner.
It worked for his brother, it's working for him. Lindsay Reed's got to catch up, but he gets a lane, he goes wide and gets a great lane.
Whoa!
And Paul Jensen in Jurassic Attack advancing, so both brothers moving on to the semifinals.
What a great night for them so far. Team Throttle Monster.
Let's take a look at our semifinal bracket. It is Bakugan Dragonoid going up against Vendetta, and Megalodon going up against Jurassic Attack. So two brothers and two sets of brothers going at it. What a great night.
That's awesome.
It's time now for our semifinals, and in that right lane with lane choice, the fastest time of last round is Ryan Anderson and Bakugan Dragonoid up against Mike Christensen in Vendetta. We've been talking about no rear steer. How difficult is that to run through a racing bracket with no rear steering?
Well, usually we need the rear steer because the trucks don't turn very sharp, but when we have a dirt like this that's really slick, you can sling that truck in sideways and drift it and turn as you're going straight. It's kind of a weird phenomenon that we can do in these Monster Jam trucks.
We get off Ryan Anderson, another great jump to the chalk, but here comes Mike Christensen. And Bakugan just so fast right now, no stoppage whatsoever. The front wheel goes up, and Ryan Anderson once again making it look easy. Our next matchup here in the semifinals, it's Adam Anderson, the 5-time World Finals champion, in the right lane in Megalodon up against Paul Jensen in Jurassic Attack. This is a great matchup here.
Two prehistoric animals going head-to-head. Megalodon, Jurassic Attack. Oh, Paul's getting a little crooked coming off the race lane.
Winner goes on to meet Ryan Anderson.
Oh, he's letting her hang out, but it's too much, getting a little wild.
Paul Jensen just could not get around that turning pod. He goes up, and Adam Anderson also going up, but he's going to correct the mistake and gets it across the finish line first. So the finals are set. It will be Anderson versus Anderson, Ryan versus Adam. Ryan gets lane choice. Who you got heading that first 12 points?
Man, I don't know. That's a hard one, but I'm going to have to go with Ryan. He's been consistent all year. Ryan Anderson might have this event won already.
We are down to our final two. Who takes the driver's seat in pursuit of the event championship? Find out next on Monster Jam. Welcome back to round 24 of Monster Jam in Glendale. It's time for the Monster Energy Racing Finals. We have seen this matchup time and time again. It's Anderson versus Anderson, Ryan versus Adam. And Ryan Anderson in Bakugan Dragonoid in the right lane. And he moves Adam Anderson and Megalodon over to the left lane. Talk about that choice.
Yeah, it's the first time Adam's been over here, but I see the race lanes seem pretty even, so I don't think it's going to affect Adam too much.
And Adam actually gets a better start off that left lane.
Look how he's drifting that corner.
Ryan has caught some ground, but right now Adam Anderson is in the lead. He goes wide, Ryan goes tight.
It's close!
Oh, and a photo finish here in our final matchup.
Oh, that was close. I think you got him, though.
As they came across the finish line, the nose of the shark almost had it, but Bakugan Dragonoid will take the win. So Ryan Anderson, another racing competition win.
He is just a force to be reckoned with, Scott.
After Monster Energy Racing, we can now take a look at our first BKT overall event leaderboard of the night. Ryan Anderson gets 12 points, Adam Anderson with 11, Mike Christensen 10, Paul Jensen with 9, and Todd LeDuc with 8, rounding out our first BKT top 5 of the night. And right now, let's send it downstairs. Leslie Mears with our racing winner, Ryan Anderson.
Normally, Ryan, you come out of the chute just blazing fast, but tonight it seemed like it took you a long time to figure out the track.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple different factors. This dirt is a lot different than we're used to. It's really hard packed, but it still has traction. It's kind of a funky compound. And then also, this weather's a big change. So our motors, our EFI system takes a little time to change over. So I'm actually feeling a little low on horsepower at the moment, which may have been a result of some slower times, but at the same time, it kept me in check, kept me calm, kept me from spinning out. So maybe the reason why I actually got this done tonight.
Yeah, a great win coming right out of the gate, guys.
Thanks, Leslie. We will see if he can keep it up. But with racing in the books, it was time for our second competition of the night, the Great Clip Skills Challenge. And let's take a quick look back at our top competitors. Each driver had the option to attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels or a donut. Competitors attempted a variety of moves and combinations and were judged based on creativity, skill, and execution. 12 points were on the line towards tonight's overall event championship. So let's take a quick look back at our top 3 competitors. And in third place, it was Bryce Kenny with a popper stopping moonwalk combo.
Now remember, you only got 20 seconds so you can stay in this move. Hopefully this crew chief is back there counting down the seconds.
16, 17, 18, set it down, set it down.
Coming in second, Todd LeDuc, a long bicycle into a J-hook turn.
That's full commitment. He said, I don't care, that thing's there, I'm going around it.
Down a boy. Hell yeah, dog. That was awesome, dude.
But again, winning the Great Clip Skills Challenge, Ryan Anderson and Bakugan Dragonoid, a bicycle and a back-to-back Cyclone save. He would be our winner of the Great Clip Skills Challenge.
Yeah, buddy, that was great.
And after his win, 12 more points going to Ryan Anderson. Perfect event so far. He sits at the top of the BKT overall leaderboard. 24 points for him. Adam Anderson with 20, Todd LeDuc with 19, Bryce Kenny with 17, and Mike Christensen with 13, rounding out our BKT top 5 after 2 competitions. It's a tight race at the top of the leaderboard. Who's going to hold on? Find out as we preview the second half of action with our official Monster Jam halftime report. Everyone in Monster Jam is proud to be partners with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Become a partner in hope and receive a custom St. Jude and Monster Jam We Won't Stop t-shirt. Text Monster Jam to 785-833 or visit stjude.org/Monster Jam to learn more. Welcome back to Glendale, Arizona. I'm Scott Jordan alongside Colt Stevens. And the story of the night, the story of the year. We've been here before. Colt, Ryan Anderson winning both Monster Energy Racing and the Great Clip Skills Challenge. He has a perfect event so far. He accomplished that in this building back in October 2018. Can he do it again tonight?
Absolutely. He's been out there just tearing it up here in Glendale. Something about this track, he's got it figured out, going out winning racing, throwing down some of the fastest lap times, and then doing what he did in skills, doing that crazy save on the sidewalls with a broke truck. That's what's crazy to me as well.
Bakugan Dragonoid back in the pit area right now, so let's go back there and catch up with Leslie Mears and Ryan Anderson in this UNOH pit report.
So, Ryan, are you ever worried that you're not ever going to make it back?
Not necessarily. The crew that I've got behind me is just insane. I don't think there's something I could do to actually not make it back. The hardest thing right now is swapping a motor if we got to do that, and that's still not out of the question.
Thank you, Leslie. Now, in conjunction with Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, there's an auction going on right now. Some amazing items that you won't find anywhere else. All proceeds go directly to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And Colt, 4 of the superstars competing here tonight are St. Jude ambassadors. So as a driver, that has to be a huge honor, correct?
Oh, absolutely. To be able to bring Monster Jam to St. Jude and bring happiness to those kids that go through so much is just so great for us drivers to see that and to be a part of that.
Earlier this weekend, we caught up with those 4 ambassadors down on the track to get their thoughts on what St. Jude means to them and how you can give to live. Take a look.
It's here.
It has begun. The St. Jude Children's Research Hospital auction has started. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is leading the way the world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer and other life-threatening diseases.
Their mission is clear: finding cures, saving children.
Families at St. Jude never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food.
Because all a family should worry about is helping their child live.
The St. Jude auction is so important because it's our opportunity as a community to raise real money for real people that need our help.
How does the auction work?
How can Monster Jam fans participate?
Visit monsterjam.com/St. Jude for a link to the auction and more information.
The auction runs from September 1st to October 4th.
In conjunction with Childhood Cancer Awareness Month.
So why is the auction important?
How does it help the kids?
Where does that money go?
All proceeds from the auction go directly to the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
There are 18 items up for auction. We have body parts from the 2019 season.
The Gravedigger door is signed by 6 Gravedigger drivers.
A Gravedigger race jacket signed.
Signed crew shirts.
We have photos that are signed.
Some cool custom painted wagons.
A signed plaque.
A signed poker chip by Team Fire.
A Mega Gravedigger RC that's signed by Adam, Kristen, and Ryan.
And a 164 collectible Gravedigger Spin Master signed by me and my brothers.
See you at the auction.
See you at the auction.
Get your bid in now.
There are a lot of really great items up for auction. I want to add to my personal collection.
Well, I'm beating you to it. I'm on the auction right now.
The auction runs from September 1st to October 4th. So if you want to bid on any of the items, and also if you want to give to live, go to monsterjam.com/St. Jude and help us in finding cures and saving children. Now coming up is about to get hotter in the dry Arizona heat as BKT Freestyle is next. Welcome back to round 24 of Monster Jam Actions. But it's been an exciting night so far. Ryan Anderson has stepped up to the plate. We're down to our last competition, which so far this season we've seen some epic freestyle runs. I'd have to think, knowing you, if you were down there waiting to come out for freestyle, you'd be pretty excited to get on this track.
I would be extremely excited. I love this track here in Glendale. Got plenty of room to stretch my legs, get some wide open opportunities out there, and I'm going to go huge off of these ramps.
You got some wild runs here. Now let's see if State Farm Stadium lives up to the hype. It's time for BKT Monster Jam Freestyle. From Kill Hills, North Carolina, Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger, and she is one to watch this weekend. It's her last weekend in a stadium in Gravedigger. Adam Anderson will take that role over from her. She'll go back to competing primarily in arenas, and I spoke to her yesterday, and she said she feels ready to fly this thing out here. Right now, let's head back downstairs and check in with Leslie.
Guys, Kristen says that she's still thriving off of her late season confidence that she picked up in St. Louis. And since this is one of her last stadium events, she feels that she has absolutely nothing to lose. She's hoping to pull off a wow factor. And by the way that she was talking to me, I think we might see her biggest air yet.
Thank you, Leslie. And that goes back to what she was telling me. She just feels free to let this thing fly. No pressure on her this weekend. A dynamite save in that far left corner of the track for Kristen Anderson.
Yeah, that was a little crazy. See, the truck keeps kind of jumping a little sideways on her. I don't know if he's not squaring up to the ramps and getting that steering wheel straight before she takes off, but that truck reacted. Great job at not panicking and doing exactly what she needed to get out of that rough situation she was in. Again, the truck's flying a little bit crooked there. No, I wouldn't be surprised. I thought maybe she'd line up for a backflip down there, but I think she'd probably stay with the 8-pack backflip. She's familiar with that move because she does it so much in arenas. Oh, yeah.
Big air for her. I'm loving this run so far she's put together in the first minute.
You can definitely tell these ramps are really cupped. And when I say cupped, it means they got a little kind of belly in them, and that's what's causing this truck to go up and almost kick the rear end over, putting the front end down into the ground. Looks like she's lining up for an 8-pack backflip. 1, 2, come on, give us some gas.
Gets a push.
Too much.
Gets a bounce. She came off to the side, got a push, got a bounce. Ends up on the left side of Gravedigger, still trying to get it going. Hats off to Kristen Anderson. Here's the Super Glue Blue to the action replay.
That's going to score a high, though, Scott. First one to attempt that 8-pack backflip. Comes around, just too much, gets the rotation, and it bounces off those rear tires and puts her right on the roof.
Here comes the other half, a Team Throttle monster. This is Mike Christensen in Vendetta. Here comes Vendetta. Off the right side, on the back side of the step-up ramp, gets a little wheelie.
Back tires just kissed the downside of that. Absolutely perfect. I bet that felt like a nice little pillow. Again, right here, boom. That's so nice whenever you jump in that truck and you can land like that using your momentum. It's not a hard landing. You're just out there driving Miss Daisy.
When you go back to the last time we saw Vendetta at a Monster Jam event, it was that same Houston event 2018 that his brother Paul competed at in the Rod Ryan truck. So it's been a long layoff as well for Vendetta in Monster Jam. And Paul and Mike has performed a backflip, unlike his brother, but never has done one in his Vendetta truck. So I'd love to see that here tonight as well.
There we go. One thing I gotta say, Scott, is this is one clean truck. I mean, look how it glistens out there. Chassis super clean. I walked around the thing. There's hardly any oil or anything anywhere on that truck. It's in pristine condition.
And that color scheme matches the Arizona Cardinals, so it fits very well in this building.
Kind of needs to pick it up a little bit. It needs some more air. He's kind of being a little safe, I feel like.
Throwing in a donut here at BKT Freestyle. Gets the left side up, so a cyclone for Mike Christensen and Vendetta. Now coming back over to the right side of the track, Jammer in front. Here's your step on, step off, but he veers to the left and avoids the pod, so he picks up some speed now on the far side of the track.
Is he going for it? No, he's checking up.
Jammer here as well, rough landing. Goes on the left side, centers it up.
He caught that.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. We are in business now with Vendetta.
Pretty
Kenny
hard.
landed. Gets up. Oh, sideways. Can he save it though?
No, that right rear's not pulling.
That right rear is done. Wow.
Watch right here as the truck comes around, just does like a weird pirouette in the air instead of flipping in a nice smooth rotation, and that just put him right on his lid. And then him having something broken in the rear end, that right rear there, not being able to pull out of that flip. So tough break for Mike Christensen.
Up next, it's our reigning World Finals Freestyle champion, Lindsay Reed, in Monster Mutt Dalmatian Galaxy. She comes off the backside of the left race lane, hits the ramp. Crossing it up a little bit. Look at that landing, and she's going to roll this thing. That is a double dog roll for Monster Mutt Dalmatian.
Scott. She is broke.
That's not stopping her right now. Nose wheelie on the backside. A nose down save. Now it's going to stop her. But what a dynamite roll, man. She went over twice. Let's take a look at her right now. Super glue, glued to the action replay.
Lindsay comes around, goes towards this pod. She's a little bit crossed up. Whenever she lands, she gets what I call a tank slap. Truck goes to the right, bounces back to the left, and then is just not able to gather it back up, and it puts her on her lid, does this crazy save. She might end up with the action of the week with that move, Scott.
Here comes two-time World Finals champion Todd LeDuc in Monster Energy. He sits 5 points behind Ryan Anderson for the current overall lead in this event.
Todd's go-to slap wheelie to start the freestyle time. Thread the needle. Ride it. Look at that, just dragging the bumper.
Right up off the ramp, gets a great bounce and lands it. Todd LeDuc out of Peoria, Arizona, just 15 minutes down the road. Both his boys are here. His wife Melissa is here watching as well. Now Todd hasn't won in this building since 2018. He does have a couple of event wins.
There we go.
And look at that huge air for Todd LeDuc.
Love it.
He always comes in the clutch. He could have the most quiet event and still comes out in freestyle and does it. 5 wins on the year.
I've been looking for that one. That jump right there in particular is super cupped. If you come through and carry some speed, that's going to send you to the moon. Nice check up there. I really like the noise I'm hearing out of Todd. That is exciting. He's using all 1,500 horsepower out of that truck.
Nobody has more stadium freestyle wins this year and Todd LeDuc, and this is why he is going for the backflip early in his run. Look at, oh, the front right wheel just goes down. Another one.
Hold on, you got big trouble, big trouble. Sorry, dog. I thought it was going to rotate around. Sorry. All good. This is what it is, bud. No problem.
He comes around just absolutely way too short. You can see right here, not only did he break the tie rod, but he tacoed the housing too. All that smoke coming out of the back of that third member means that housing is tweaked bad.
Not everybody was able to bring it tonight in Glendale, so let's take a look at some of our lower scoring trucks. Barney Musauer in Zombie had some huge air, but he would break. And then Wildcard actually filled the clock, but the score would not reflect it. Jurassic Attack, huge air, broken axle for Paul Jensen. And then finally Bryce Kenny and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior stopped with 34 seconds left on the clock. He would finish in 8th. Let's take a look at our current BKT Freestyle top 5. Gravedigger in the top spot, Monster Energy 2nd, Vendetta 3rd, Monster Mutt Dalmatian Galaxy in 4th, and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior in 5th. That's our current BKT Freestyle top 5. 3 rounds of action from the Dome in America Center in St. Louis just a few weeks ago created some of the best freestyle runs we've seen in Monster Jam in years.
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy, wild, out of control. We saw some of the craziest wow moments and some of the best saves.
And Mr. Excitement Jim Kohler was responsible for a few of those moments, and he would start it right here in round 21 with the big air.
Man, Jim comes right out, going big, jumping from pod to pod here, but unfortunately the left rear tire falls off the ramp, but he doesn't give up on it. He's patient. He waits for the truck to talk to him. He uses that to his advantage. He goes from one side to the other, doesn't quit on it, and drives right out of it like a pro.
That's why he's a 2-time World Finals freestyle champion. Jim Kohler getting it done. That's Mr. Excitement Jim Kohler becoming Mr. Monster Energy Action of the Week. It's down to the wire here in Glendale. Who's going to come out on top in freestyle, and which driver holds the trophy at the end of the night? Find out with more Monster Jam. We are back with more Monster Jam in Arizona. 6 superstars still to run in freestyle. But first, let's catch you up with the BKT overall event leaderboard coming into this competition. Ryan Anderson, perfect event so far. He sits at the top, 24 points for him. Adam Anderson with 20, Todd LeDuc with 19, Bryce Kenny with 17, and Mike Christensen with 13, rounding out our BKT top 5 after 2 competitions. This is 5-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson in Megalodon. The 2 competitors remain in freestyle. Not a lot certain in Monster Jam, Cole. One thing is certain, our freestyle winner here tonight.
Nice air out of the box. All right, Adam.
And there is Adam Anderson. Huge air on the start.
I see you. Yes, sir. Come around. Hit that sucker. Yeah. I think Adam's seeing what I'm seeing. We've kind of had a okay showing so far. He needs to pull the cat out of the bag here. Yes, sir. Crossing it up. First cross up of the night.
Almost clears the entire pod.
I mean, it's crazy to think we're this far in freestyle, and that's the first time we've seen that done tonight.
Now hits the jammer. There's some big air from Megalodon.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen to that, wide open.
Coming right back around. He's hitting pod after pod, jammer after jammer, ramp after ramp, each one the same result, and that is huge air. Look at the momentum. He is picking up.
Pedal to the metal. Brake check.
Bounces and saves it almost into the backflip ramp.
Listen, he is just wide open in that Megalodon truck, crossing it up here, doing things different. Look at that.
And nothing to lose for him this weekend either. He's going back to Gravedigger.
Setting up, oh, slap wheelie to pod. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here we go, right up the ramp. Oh, he gets it, and then more air. So pops the back 2 tires up on the ramp, 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
And here comes that Sharknado.
Sharknado. Listen, never lifting. Oh, he's just taking a beating in there, flat.
A hard landing on that front left tire. Coming in hot again, 9 seconds remain.
Yeah, buddy.
And another Sharknado donut to cap it off. Great run for Adam Anderson. Here's the super glue glued to the action replay.
Nice work there. Only thing missing was a backflip. Great run. Did all the moves. Did some cross-ups. Got crazy. Hitting things sideways. Big air. Going to flat almost every jump. Awesome run.
Some questions on if Ryan Anderson could compete in freestyle. Let's check in right now with Leslie Mears.
Colt, you noticed there may be more damage on the truck in that rear end, but Ryan told me it was just the 4-link and the transmission. They did jack up the truck and check those rear tires. It might have been the new locker that you saw going into action, and that's why it looked a little different.
Thank you, Leslie. So he's back. Cody has a chance at a perfect event here.
Well, that's good, because I thought there was a lot more damage to the rear end of that truck whenever he went into that safe. It looked like the inside tire locked up, but he's able to get it fixed, back to 100%. I'm excited to see what he has out here on the floor.
It's all about winning here at Monster Jam. So to get a perfect event, he's got to take a freestyle win away from his sister. Of course, Tom Mintz also standing in the way, but at the end of the day, you want to win, you drive to win. Doesn't matter who you beat. Look at that end over end brake check jump. Wheelie on the backside, flawless landing.
See how he's not going to flat there? It's so much easier on the truck. He can make it last the entire freestyle if he continues to land like that.
His 2 competitions wins tonight give him 23 on the season. And stops short, gets a bicycle save. The 23 competition wins on the season. He could make it 24. 4 of those coming by way of BKT Freestyle. It's the Jammer, gets up, little whip action coming out off that ramp, and then nose wheelie. Here's where he excels. Stoppy right there. We saw it coming. He excels in this, gets a nose wheelie.
Look at that. One wheel moonwalk.
One wheel off the landing. That's a split second on the reaction, and he nails it.
Listen to that momentum, that speed.
Bicycle save off the backside as well. Gets that one too.
So good at just being relaxed, letting that truck do what it wants to do, and making some cool moves out of it. Yes, sir. Get some.
Huge air and incredible landing. Gets that back right tire on the ramp.
Uh-oh, got a lot of speed going in that corner. I thought he was going over.
Final jump here for Ryan Anderson.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he might go over. He's got a chance to save it, and he will not get the opportunity.
Nice work, bro.
Let's take a look at the Super Glue Glue to the action replay.
Big air coming out on a vengeance. But right here, being able to get the trucks, go into a stoppy, then a moonwalk, and then even a one-wheel moonwalk. What a move from Ryan Anderson.
9.339, our new leader is Ryan Anderson. All that stands in the way of a perfect night here in Glendale is Tom Mintz. But Colt, we're at the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs and a full count, and here comes Tom Mintz.
Yeah, we got 1 left, but if anybody can take it away from the Andersons, it's going to be Tom Mintz and Max D.
Clock will start as soon as he hits the first obstacle. 2 minutes will go on the clock. 2 minutes away from possible perfection, and there is a great way to get it started, coming right off that right lane race ramp and right into the dumpster.
Not what you want to do, Tom.
The container causing a problem. Does a complete circle on this track, hits the right side, and then the left side, huge air already. And here he goes again off the pod.
That truck is rebounding hard in the rear. I know he usually does it, but it just seems more than normal.
And with his usual crew chief, Josh Dyke, not here, I think Cooper Knuckles, it's safe to say, has done an admirable job tonight, keeping that truck in competition. Jammer jump, clears the ramp completely, clears the pod, and here is a stoppy into a nose wheelie.
Again, a technical move right there. This is so extremely hard to do when you have your heart rate and everything so high in freestyle, to calm down and get that truck to do exactly what you want it to do.
Slid a maximum moonwalk in there, trying to give Ryan Anderson everything he can. 4 freestyle wins on the year as well for Tom Mintz.
Look at Tom, hand out the window, telling the crowd, get up!
Gets some momentum, gets up down the backside, great landing. Got to keep that momentum. I love it when he turns onto the track, just keeps his momentum going, finding the center lane. We got a backflip coming up. He's got a lot of room.
20 seconds.
Nobody has completed a successful backflip tonight. He launches Max D, and there we go.
Nice, there it is.
And there we go, our first successful backflip on the final competitor of the night.
Yes, sir, huge.
And there's your wow moment for Tom Mintz. And no time remaining, so Tom Mintz just gonna donut out there for the fans. Max D Cyclone.
Nice work, Tom. What a veteran move right there. Way to finish off that freestyle.
Let's take a look at the super glue. Glue to the action replay. Is this enough to take the perfect event away?
Big air, catches it perfect right here with that rebound in the rear. Absolutely great control. You can see the brakes are so hot for him having to slam. Then right here, the first perfect backflip of the night. Drove away. Great job, Tom Mintz.
9.626. So the perfect event for Ryan Anderson is out the door, and Tom Mintz will win his 5th BKT freestyle competition of the season. That's going to tie him with Todd LeDuc. What an incredible run to close out that competition. We can now take a look at our BKT freestyle top 5. Tom Mintz will win this one. Ryan Anderson drops to 2nd. Kristen Anderson in 3rd. Adam Anderson in 4th. And Todd LeDuc in 5th. And right now, let's head down to the track. Leslie with our freestyle winner, Tom Mintz.
No lack of excitement here, Tom. It came right down to you as the final run. I mean, did you realize that Ryan had it locked up there for the clean sweep?
I saw every move he made. He was phenomenal. So many drivers did a great job tonight. But in the end, I just thought, man, Tom, calm down. Go out there and just have the most fun possible. I did. These great Glendale Monster Jam fans did. And we came out on top.
Let's take a look now at our overall event leaderboard. Ryan Anderson 1 point away from a perfect event. He would finish with 35. Adam Anderson with 29. Todd LeDuc 27. Tom Mintz with 24. And Bryce Kenny with 22. That's our final overall event BKT top 5. But right now, let's head downstairs with our overall event champion, Leslie Mears, is with Ryan Anderson.
Right, it was so exciting, and you were so close to the clean sweep, but then here comes Tom Mintz out of nowhere and just ruins it.
Yeah, but I have to say, when somebody earns it, they earn it. There was no doubt in my mind when I seen Tom's run going on and things were clicking, I'm like, man, he's going to take it. I had a great run. Tom's was better. There's no way of getting around it, but I got that overall championship. Tonight was a crazy night. We overcame a lot of adversity. We had an awesome show from top to bottom, and we got the hardware.
One more round of carnage here in Glendale before our final round in Indianapolis. As a reminder also to go to monsterjam.com/St. Jude to bid on exclusive items from our St. Jude auction. For Colt Stevens and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Good night from Glendale. We'll see you next time on Monster Jam.